Hey, what's going on, everybody? Gleez here, and today we're going to take a look at Splitting Hairs Sindel. This is her first variation. We're going to go over some combos, some of the things that she's good at, some of the things that she struggles with, and we're going to go ahead and get into this video. She's a really good character. I like the way that this variation plays. Personally, I thought I was going to like the third variation the best, but I think I'm leaning towards Splitting Hairs. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the tutorial. So when discussing Sindel, she thrives the best from about this range. Her down 4 is okay. It's 9 frames of startup, which is pretty good for a down 4. The range is like mediocre. Down 3 has actually really far range, but the startup is a lot slower. So the down 3 works okay. Her down 1 is 8 frames. Alright, and this is going to cause Sindel to really struggle against characters like Jackie Briggs up close because her down 1 comes out, rather slow, and it forces Sindel players to sometimes have to, in situations, make a hard read with stand 1 at 7 frames, or to just block and wait for your opportunity to push a button. Against someone like Gleez, his forward 212, that string being so barely negative and his down 1 being a 6 frame poke, it actually has to be frame perfect in order to not trade with Gleez after a down 1. So this is something to keep in mind when you use Sindel. You really don't want to be caught up close with pressure characters, especially characters that are, safe and almost at neutral after their strings, because the down 1 being 8 frames of startup really hinders the character in that way. Now, the reason why you also want to play in this range, not only for defensive purposes to make sure that my opponent isn't, getting pressure on me where I can't down 1 because it's slow, I also have moves that thrive in this range. So forward 4 up 3 is going to be your main string that you're going to use. It's 13 frames. The pushback is really good. Characters can't punish it. So it's a really, really good string to use. It's safe against the majority of the cast. Jade can punish it. Rio actually did a really good video going over this string, which I'll link down below if you haven't seen it. He goes over it pretty in depth, and he does a really good job with that. But just know that only Jaded can punish it with the shadow kick. They have to cancel it, use a bar. It's kind of a pain to deal with this string. Now, the other string that works really well is forward 2-1. All right, now at the end of forward 2-1, you have a couple options. So you can confirm it, meaning that I visually see that it connects, and then I can go into my hair flip, which is that move, and I'll launch into a combo. If I see that it's on block, what I can do then is go up 2. All right, but there is a big gap there. And it's safe, it's -8, has pushback, but again, there is a big gap. It can be flawless blocked, which removes the pushback, and it can be fully punished, full combo. Jackie will hit you for 30% if she does flawless block that. The other option with no gap is to go down and triangle, or 2 and down +2, however you want to call it. That's a low, but that is severely negative. But it will clip someone if they're trying to flawless block. So you kind of have that to play with. Now, there is something that's a little bit more advanced. So what we're going to do here is we're going to place the opponent to block all. So this is going to take some defensive meter, but this is what makes Sindel in this variation, in my opinion, very good, because she can kind of mix you up and play that range game. It's almost like, ranged normals and using spacing tools that aren't necessarily projectiles with this character, and I really like that. It reminds me a bit of Ninjutsu Scorpion, so that's why I'm kind of really enjoying this character. But let's put the frame data on. So you can see forward 2-1, if I just let it rock, it's -15 on block. Now, sometimes you're not going to get punished because they're going to, be trying to flawless block this, or they're going to try to block low for that for the punish. All right, -15 there as well. So a lot of times you can let that rock and people aren't going to hit a button, but someone that's really good, they're going to visually see that and they're going to be able to respond and hit a button in that instance. But there is something that you can do in order to stay safe. So forward 2 is an overhead, all right, and we'll get to the low mix as well. But what you can do here is you can go into the screen and you can cancel it for a defensive bar, and it can keep you safe, and it looks like this. It doesn't look like that, but it looks like that, and it's -5. All right, so it's -5. You're good to go. You're not going to get punished. It's hard to react to. Sometimes you can get away with that and, get a down 1 in, or you can, use the cancel and then get a grab in. All right, it depends on what your opponent is choosing to do. If you're playing against someone that has very quick reactions, you may want to just block, all right, because you are -5. So keep that in mind. Hitting buttons and things after that really is a risk, but at the same time, if your opponent can't react to it, then you might as well, right? That's how Mortal Kombat goes. So that's a way to keep yourself safe. So we also have the back 2. All right, and from the furthest ranges, it's really difficult to punish with anything substantial. Some characters can, like Shao Kahn, he can hit you with his shoulder, and launch you. So characters that have very quick forward advancing moves that launch, they're going to be the characters that you want to be a little bit leery of using that move against. Other characters that just have forward advancing specials, they're usually in a situation where they're only going to hit you and knock you down. So it's not a tremendous risk against a lot of the cast. All right, so basically you have the overhead string and the low to mix up. You have forward 4, up 3. All right, those are the strings that you're going to use most of the time. 1, 1, 2 is pretty good. There is a huge gap there. So 1, 1, 2. All right, see that 2 right there? At the end, there's a gap between the second 1 and the 2. You can flawless block it. Some characters, like Sub-Zero's back 1, can actually punish that for a full combo with a dash up and then back 1 in the combo, where he sticks that long axe out. So certain characters can punish that with normals and full combo punish if they do flawless block it. But most characters, even with the flawless block, they're going to have to up to it. So it really depends on the character that you're facing and their options in that situation. But keep in mind that it is flawless blockable and it does have a gap. The other string that is pretty good here, you have the back 3, 4. All right, that's -9. You have a couple options off of that. You can go with 4 again, all right, right there, and that's the overhead, but it is negative. All right, it's -12, full combo punishable, and there's no pushback at all. So it's a very easy punish. Most people, when they block that, are going to punish the crap out of you. But you do have another option off of the back 3, 4, which is 2. All right, and that's actually +3. Does lead to a crushing blow if that does hit. Now, in a lot of situations, people are going to stand up and block. All right, and because they're going to stand up and block, this will be plus if they do happen to block it, but it is a true high. So, for instance, let me show you here. We're going to put Jackie. What am I doing? We're going to put Jackie here on crouch, block mode, stance, hold. All right, so you're going to see that this, even though it's on block, it literally goes right over her head. She's holding block, all right, but the high goes right over her head. All right, so if someone does crouch block low, it's going to go over their head whether they're block or neutral crouch. So keep that in mind also. So let's take a look at some of Sindel's combos. Not the easiest combos, but they're very repetitive, so they're easy to remember. But the juggling is, I don't know, I guess we'll say like a 5 out of 10 of difficulty, but I think that most of you will be able to get it. Now, Sindel thrives on hit confirming. If you don't know how to hit confirm, you got to make sure you practice that. That's visually seeing whether my opponent is blocking or if they get hit by the attack. It's something that you have to do to be a very good fighting game player, particularly with Sindel. You're going to have to be able to hit confirm. So, depending on if you're using the forward 2-1 or forward 4, if you hit confirm it, everything follows suit. So it doesn't matter what your starter is. We'll get to the back 2 as well. Even if you hit them with back 2, the combo is still the same. So if I hit with forward 4, I just do that, do it again, forward 4, and then back forward 1. So we get that hair flip move at the end. Now, if I only want to use one bar, this is what the combo will look like. We're going to change the ender here to maximize the damage. We're actually going to use the down back 4, which is like the overhead hair flip. And that's going to maximize my damage at the end of the combo for 1 bar. If I could actually hit it, that would be good, right? Alright, so it gives you a little bit more damage. It also has very good corner carry. So you can see we started from mid-screen, and now my opponent is basically in the corner. The spacing at the end of the moves is crucial for Sindel. If you want your opponent further away, you would end in the hair flip. Alright, you can even end in this one. Yeah, that one hits them real far away. That is 2, 3, 4. So you sacrifice damage in order to get your opponent far away from you. Alright, so that is another combo ender that you can use. But basically all of the combos follow suit. So if I hit with back 2. Alright, so they're all relatively the same. Alright, so again, that's forward 4. Down back 1. Forward 4. Back forward 1. Alright, now if I want to utilize my meter, and let's say I end my combo closer with my back to the corner, I can meter burn it, and I can swing my opponent the other way. We flip sides. So that's another thing to utilize as a combo ender, you know, for a lot of situations when your back is against the wall. And again, Sindel needs that space behind her because remember, she thrives here. So another big thing with Sindel's game plan is the strike throw mix. Now she has a crushing blow on both sides. So you can see I can crushing blow on this side. It does a little bit less damage, but it does have the dot damage. You can see the health up at the top is ticking down. All right, very similar to Scorpions. All right, that's a good amount of damage. It's pretty healthy. And you also have the front throw. All right. Again, big damage. So she has crushing blows on both throws. So if you can utilize both of them in a match, that is significant damage just off of throws. So keep that in mind. Make sure you utilize the throw with Sindel and try to get those crushing blows in each match, and it's going to definitely benefit you. So we're going to take a look at some of the other crushing blows and the combos to utilize with those. And I'm going to have the inputs up at the top. But remember, you know, most of the combos are generally the same. Forward 4 into the hair flip, forward 4 into, you know, the back forward 1, or, you know, after the second hair flip or first hair flip, end it however you would like, depending on how many bars you want to use. Again, if you want to go further away, you can end in 2, 3, 4. If you want to keep them close, you could go forward 4 into back forward 2. So I'll show you what that looks like here. So if I were to go just like this, notice that now the opponent is super close. All right, so there's different ways you can end your combo. So we're going to show a couple examples of different combos with different crushing blows. But mix and match, make sure you understand and utilize all of our tools and understand the situations that you're in, because that's what separates a good player from a great player. All right, so there you go. The basics with Sindel. Now, this float move, I personally, you know, besides movement, getting over things like the ice clone looking thing for Sub-Zero, you know, I haven't really found a whole lot of great uses. The cancel of it on block is really negative. If you have any, you know, great uses for this besides a little bit of mobility in very specific situations, leave it down in the comment section and let me know, because I don't really have a good use for that. But besides that, that is the basics with Sindel. And obviously the character's only been out for about a day. So we're going to absolutely evolve the character over time, and the community is great for that. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to click that subscribe button so you get updated whenever I post new content here on the channel. And don't forget to click the bell, or no, YouTube won't even tell you. Just be like, yeah, Gleez posted content, but I ain't telling you. I'm not telling you. So make sure you click that bell so you get notified. Also, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. As always, I want to thank you for checking in. It's Jay Gleez signing out, and continue to game strong.